Hello scrappers and planet lovers, Tin Man here with another video. So one of my viewers asked me a few questions about extrusion, which is a category at a scrapyard of aluminum. And not only did they ask about price and how to separate it properly, but also wanted to know, in my opinion, the most common places to find extrusion. So as you can see behind me, I have a number of pieces. All of these I found on garbage day. So want to answer that question for that viewer and anyone else. Extrusion right now is at an all-time high price. I've never seen it so high. So definitely an excellent item to grab while scrapping. And it is actually in a lot of different items. So first thing I want to do is I want to identify what extrusion is. As I said, it is a form of aluminum and very easy to identify. If I was to take these pieces up to the camera, extrusion looks like it has been put through either a mold or a press. Usually a lot of different grooves in it. Looks like there's different sides to it, or as I said, some slots to it. So that is the first thing, easy to recognize. And at a scrapyard, extrusion is separated into two categories. You have clean extrusion and painted extrusion. Aluminum by nature is metallic color, so these items like this are metallic. These are going to be clean. And currently right now in London, Ontario, I just checked the prices. Clean extrusion is going for $1.90 a pound, which is unbelievable. Painted extrusion, sometimes you'll see it in blacks, you'll see it in greens and whites, different ones like that. You'll see some that look to be yellow, trying to look like brass. Painted extrusion is a little bit less. It's actually going for $1.84 a pound, which is still an excellent price. But you definitely want to make sure you separate those, because if you have them all together, painted and clean, you're going to get painted price. So if you have a lot of it, it definitely adds up when you start looking at the difference. So clean extrusion is going to be the metallic color. Any paint on it is going to be painted. Now, getting to the question that viewer asked, common places that I find it. One of the biggest I find is window frames or screen doors, those different items. A lot of people put upgrades in, they get rid of those windows. And I have seen some people pass them up, especially if there's only one or two screens on the side of the road. And although this is light, it does add up, especially if you have a couple of them. You do have to make sure you remove the screen from the frame. The screen is aluminum, so I do throw that into clean aluminum, or it could be sheet aluminum. But this piece, as you can see, there's obviously going to be 4 to it because it's a window. This is going to be painted. But they do, once you start bringing them out, breaking them up, they will add up. There's 11 ounces right here, and I had 4 of these screens, so definitely adds up. You do want to make sure that you separate the seal out of there. You take that out. Some of them will have screws in them you need to remove, especially if they're steel. There are the corners that will have either plastic, sometimes connectors, or there'll be a type of alloy, like could be cast aluminum or something else. So you definitely want to make sure you separate it to make it the highest price clean extrusion. These windows, actually, I just found on Saturday going to the scrapyard. These actually came out of an RV. These, obviously, I have to remove the plastic as well as the screws on it. But again, an excellent item here. I have already removed one. It does definitely add up in weight. But as I said, windows right here, they can be big, they can be large or small. As well, as I said, screen doors, I do have to remove this screen part of it. This is aluminum, as well as the plastic and the screws. But these pieces do add up. This is actually 2.5 pounds. And as I said, I have 2 of these, as well as the smaller parts. So screen doors and windows, very common. Another item I love to find and often find are ladders. This ladder actually came off of a dock. This I actually don't even have to touch, because as you can see, this side piece is extrusion. As well, these rails are extrusion as well. So this is free of any rivets or any type of screws. So this is going to be clean extrusion. It's not painted, which is great. This is actually over 2.5 pounds. Ladders, step ladders, often find those at houses or job sites. The bracket on the bottom breaks, makes it unsteady and unsafe. Those ones, the rivets, you do have to make sure you remove. Very easy to do. All I do is actually take a grinder and just make a square around it. I will leave a little bit of that aluminum on there, pop off the rivets. I've seen some people suggest using an air chisel to get those rivets out. I've seen other people just grind off the top of the rivets. So there are different options, but step ladders are also a great source of extrusion. And given the size of some of them, they definitely add up in weight, which is awesome. Another one that I actually use a lot of is bike rims, or our bike rims. Sorry. Bike rims, another easy way. This is actually extrusion as well. You can see the spokes have to be removed because the spokes are metal. And very easy, I actually have a video on bike rims. All I do is actually, if I cut this spoke here, turn it upside down, this spike will actually just slide right out. So I can go all the way down with a grinder and then just keep spinning it and they'll all fall out. But bikes, especially right now, people put them away in the winter time. They bring them out. They've got flat tires or they're damaged. I see a lot of people throwing those out. And the nice thing about the rest of the bike, the frame, you definitely can bring in as tin shred price, which is also going for right now 10 to 13 cents a pound. So you don't lose anything on a bike, but you definitely want to get the rims and make sure you put them into extrusion. The last thing I want to talk about is I have actually found a lot of extrusion on appliances and electronics. One of the main ones that I've actually just discovered is large flat screen TVs. I just got a flat screen from a student at school. Shout out to Nev Morningstar and family. Great family. I've had the opportunity to teach all 3 children. Awesome family. But this flat screen right here, if I look at it, this does not have any extrusion on it. This is all tin shred, the backing. But your larger flat screen TVs, the very, very heavy ones, the very long ones like the 65 higher 70-inch TVs do have on the back, when you remove the back panel, after removing the circuit boards, some really nice pieces of extrusion. So here you go, just to see the size of this TV, you have to add a little bit to it. So it's a very large TV. There are 2 of these. As well, there are actually 2 tracks like this. These, all I do is actually take a pry bar and I will pop them up out of the backing. They're usually just pinned. So it does take a couple of seconds to do, but again, very heavy. This alone weighs 2 pounds. So a lot of extrusion here, and given the price, this is clean extrusion, definitely worth my time. The rest of that TV, once I take out the circuit boards, I can actually bring in the rest of it as e-waste or electronic price, so I'm not losing anything from the TV. And this is actually bolted down to a metal backing, or actually an aluminum one. But in my opinion, I cannot get that aluminum out without breaking the rest of the TV, so I will just take the extrusion and bring the rest of that TV in as e-waste. So flat screen TVs, the larger ones, like I said, the very, very heavy ones, definitely great piece of extrusion. And for me, the most common thing as well, and I've often said this on videos, is circuit boards in the form of aluminum heat sinks. This circuit board actually just came out of that TV I showed you. As you can see, not only does it have some copper, but 1, 2, 3, 4 aluminum heat sinks. And these aluminum heat sinks, again, identified by the track look to them. These are going to add up in weight and price. These are nice clean ones. This one obviously came out of a different circuit board. This is going to be painted extrusion, but these definitely add up. This circuit board, if I was to bring it in as is, I'm going to get paid circuit board price, which is about 5 cents a pound. And although it's worth something, definitely I'm going to make a lot more separating the heat sinks from that. Often talk about heat sinks from your computer towers As you can see here, come in different sizes, different shapes. This one right here is over 1.5 pounds. This one is 12 ounces. And what I have in here is a bag of my heat sinks. As you can see, all of these. And what I want to do for this video is I actually have a scale here. I want to weigh this bag for you. They come in little sizes like this, but again, they all add up. So just for this video, here's my scale. I'm going to put this on here. I actually haven't even weighed it yet, but I'm going to do that. So this weighs about 55 pounds worth of just heat sinks. You can see I'm not fudging that. So 55 pounds, obviously a huge money maker right there at $1.90 a pound. They are all clean. I actually have a bag of painted ones, about 15 pounds of those. So aluminum heat sinks off of circuit boards, in my opinion, appliances, electronics you find all the time, definitely worth taking apart and getting that extrusion, especially given the price at $1.84 for painted and $1.90 a pound for clean. Well worth your time. As well, again, separating the copper as well for number 2 copper, which is going for about $4.80 a pound. So aluminum, like I said, heat sinks, great place off of circuit boards. So hopefully that answered that question. Interesting to see how much I had in there. I've had to start another bag because that bag, I don't want it to break. But in my opinion, most common places I find it now are electronics on circuit boards, some bike rims for sure, flat screen TVs, the great big ones, as well as your window frames and your screen door tracks. As well, I have found some shower tracks as well, but less common because usually people aren't throwing out the whole track. But hopefully that answered the question. Again, please comment down below. Enjoy answering questions as best I can, so keep them coming. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Tin Man out.